So let's talk about masturbating.
Okay, let's do it.
Threesome.
No! God, no! I'm getting all flustered now. We were performing at the MTV Asia Awards and we invited everybody down for a bit of a pool party after the awards. Blue, Gareth Gates, Black Eyed Peas, Pussycat Dolls. We had the Sugar Babes with us. We were all like in this pool having a mass party, and it wasn't about a fame thing. It was because I wanted to be a pop star. I wanted to sing and I wanted to perform. And I realised that I wasn't getting picked for the lead vocals. And I was singled out from the press as being the drunk one, you know, the party girl, anything but the performer. That I started to believe that's all I was good at.
Hi guys, today I celebrate being 3 years clean and sober.
The girls were a pillar of support when I went into rehab. Towards the end of my drinking, they were worried that having, you know, the rider backstage and drinking at the gigs was the main causes of why I had this drinking problem. They were thinking of stepping back from the band for good to save my life.
Welcome to the Mile Fly Club, your VIP lane to first class travel tips, tell-all talk and turbulent life tales. Think the Mile High Club, only with more clothes, but no less outrageous. Each week I'll be inviting high-flying, globe-trotting guests to bear all in my club. So if you're searching for some tantalising travel tidbits and a good old gossip, you've arrived at the right destination. Now sit back, relax and get ready to take off with the Mile Fly Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've now reached our cruising altitude. I'll go ahead and turn off the seatbelt sign, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
This episode of the Mile Fly Club is brought to you by our good friends at Florette Salad. Are you looking for the holiday of a lifetime? We've got 5 great destinations to choose from. Imagine jetting off to Koh Samui or Cancun, relaxing in Dubrovnik, exploring New York or Seville. There are 3 tasty escape holidays to be won, and if that wasn't enough, £100 could be instantly won every single day. All you have to do is swing by your local supermarket and grab a promotion pack of Florette Salad. For more information, as well as free recipes, bonus prizes and more, visit florettesalad.co.uk. And be sure to check out @Florette Salad on Instagram and Facebook. Make your summer unflorettable with Florette's Tasty Escapes. Competition closes midnight, August 16th, 2025. Please don't enter after this date. Storming to the top of the UK charts in the noughties, she's 1/5 of a pop band that almost never was. Competing in the TV show Popstars in 2001, she initially failed to make the final group, Hearsay. However, she had the last laugh as her band Liberty X stormed the charts, achieving an incredible 10 consecutive top 20 UK singles. Now, as a trio, she's still performing the hits nearly a quarter of a century on, and this time to a whole new legion of fans. A singer, mother, actress and campaigner, she's inspiring others with her honest take on addiction and sobriety. Welcome to the Mile Fly Club, Michelle Heaton. Thank you so much.
No worries, thank you for having me. It's so good to see you. It's been a while.
I know. And do you know what? I was actually talking about it before you arrived, that not many people know this, and I don't even know if you know it.
Oh gosh.
But years and years ago, in a previous life, in a previous career of mine, I used to drive you around in a golf buggy when it was Party in the Park.
No.
Yeah, I was artist liaison, and I used to take you to stage with the band, get you on stage on time for your performance Party in the Park, wait in my little golf buggy, and then get you back on and drive you back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you were very lovely back then.
Are you sure? Okay, good. That's my next question. Were we all right to you?
Yeah, you were lovely.
Oh my God, like the proper Party in the Parks, like in London.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was looking at photos of that the other day, because the now king came to watch one of them. And there's this photo of him complimenting my boots at Party in the Park. We had these really big military boots. I still have them now. And it looks like he's saying, nice boobs. In all the press photos.
So
it's still floating around now.
The king said you had nice boobs.
Well, my boobs were definitely showing, and my boots. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, look, thank you for coming. It is lovely to have you on as a guest. Let's kick it off with a bit of travel then, because it is a travel podcast. You do loads of travel as a family. You've just come back from Gibraltar.
I have.
How was that?
My first time in Gibraltar.
What do you think?
I was pleasantly surprised, only because I say that with all due respect with Gibraltar is because my only knowledge of Gibraltar back in the day when I was growing up was when my mum and dad went for their cigarettes and their alcohol, and it would be a quick pit stop while they were staying somewhere else other than Gibraltar. So I was like, okay, I'm not sure whether I'm going to like this or not, but actually it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful. The beaches were stunning. We went into the rock. We actually stayed right on the side of the rock. I mean, you can't help it. It's it kind of involves the whole island, but it's just, it's just wonderful. We had a great time. Amazing food. Obviously, there's been lots of new builds and lots of new restaurants around the different marinas now. And there was lots of things that my mum remembered when she went when she was younger, you know, where the old passport control was, where she said she had to wait in line before she got through for her cigarettes. And the passport control now has shifted. It's not where it once was, but, you know, with decorated bridges. It's just gorgeous.
So you had a great time there.
Yeah.
Did you see the monkeys?
We did.
What did you think of them?
We did. They were so cute, and they did not come up to us too close. I mean, I got quite close to one between, you know, I suppose the same distance between myself and you. And they were watching us eat our ice creams. There was one monkey in particular that crawled up somebody's leg to get his ice cream, but he was taunting it.
Yeah.
Like you had it coming.
They can be quite vicious.
I heard. So I had to, I had a little backpack on and I kept it really tight. My mum told me to take off my glasses and my hat, just in case. But I didn't see them stealing anything or committing any offences. So they were well behaved. But yeah, it was good. It was really nice.
You mentioned food there, that when you're in Gibraltar, is food quite a big thing for you when you travel? Because, I mean, you look incredible.
Oh, thank you.
You look absolutely incredible. And your lifestyle has obviously changed massively.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the last 4 years in sobriety, my lifestyle and my eating habits has changed as well. And I've just got really good balance at the minute. I love food. So even though I do eat, I suppose, healthy, it's not really healthy. It's just being cautious of what I choose to put in my body now. I'm older, I'm in menopause. I want to take care of the inside out. I eat like that at home and I make good choices. But when I'm away on holiday, I want to eat whatever I want to eat. And I really enjoy tasting new foods and experiencing new culinary. So it was, I definitely did that over in Gibraltar as well.
What were you eating?
Lots of seafood. I don't cook seafood at home. I don't tend to cook it. And it's really because I can't cook fish very well.
Right.
It seems to shrivel up. And also I use the air fryer all the time. You know, you put salmon in the air fryer, it comes out like that, right? So I've stopped trying to cook fish and just eat it when I'm out. So it was lots of fresh fish, lots of scallops. I tried some oysters, which weren't my thing, but it was nice to try them. It was just loads of different types of meats and fish.
You've mentioned the menopause there, which obviously, you know, there's lots of talk about in the moment. And you went through the menopause. Am I right in saying you went through the menopause earlier than normal? Talk us a bit about that.
Yes, so I have BRCA2, which is what we call the cancer gene. It's actually just that a chromosome, a gene that I'm without. So it doesn't fight certain specific cancers. The most prevalent being breast and ovarian. So I elected to have a total hysterectomy after I had AJ, who is now 11. So I had it almost 11 years, 10 and a half years ago. So I went into immediate surgical menopause all that time ago.
Wow. And is surgical menopause different in any way to the normal menopause then?
Yes. So effectively what happens in the menopause is that your body slowly stops making and producing estrogen and progesterone. And then what happens is that as it naturally decreases, you'll get certain side effects. You know what we've talked about them loads of times: hot flushes, night sweats, headaches, irritability, dry skin, loss of appetite, loss of sex drive, increased appetite. You know, the list is infinite, and that can gradually come on over time. And then that's why we have HRT to help balance that. When you have immediate menopause, you're straight into it, so the hormones have gone. So HRT is really important. Obviously, always contact your GP because certain specific HRTs can increase the risk of breast cancer as well. So I had a high risk of breast cancer, but because I had had my double mastectomy, that was taken away. So I went straight onto HRT to balance out what my body had absolutely nil of. So it's very different, yeah.
And so you say, have you sort of finished? Are you at the other side of the menopause?
Well, no, not yet, because now I'm just hitting at 45, the age at which most women go through it. So what that looks like is I have to pay for all this myself. I have to pay privately because it's not available on NHS. I need testosterone in my body as well because I'm without all testosterone. And so I go for my blood's tested to find out my levels, to see how much I need of what and when. So it's an ongoing thing. It really is. It's just, I can't see the end of the tunnel yet. And I don't know when the end of the tunnel is, you know? So that's why it's really important to get blood tests to see whether my body needs as much as my HRT or not.
Wow. I mean, it's a mindful, and I think for me at the moment, I'm just 43. So I'm sort of working out, am I going into the perimenopause? I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, those symptoms that we've mentioned can happen to anybody at any day, at any time, right? Okay. So it is quite easy to go, oh, I must be going through the menopause because I'm getting confused or whatever. I just think sometimes it's life. I think the most important thing is to get your bloods tested. You can go to your GP. If they say, no, you don't need it, you push for it. You know, if you're of a certain age, your periods have started to become erratic or slightly different, you're noticing difference with your periods, that is the main thing. That's the main sign that you're in perimenopause, really. So if in doubt, ask for a blood test.
I see, I've got the coil, so I wouldn't have a freaking clue.
Right, okay.
Don't know, I am completely in the dark with it all, which is terrible. But, you know, you are a massive advocate for it, and also like living a healthy lifestyle now. And you really, I mean, I know you've spoken about it previously, but you have kind of gone through a journey, haven't you? Your travel through life with being addicted to, you know, drugs and drink, but now you're addicted to exercise.
Well, yeah, it's a good addiction. It's my healthier of my addictions. You know, I'm addicted to all sorts of things. You know, I'm addicted to food. You know, we talked about food earlier briefly, and you know, my first addiction growing up when I was younger was food. So my relationship with eating food was temperamental from the get-go, and then I always just wanted to change the way that I felt. So food changed the way I felt because I was bigger at school, picked on a little bit, and I found that eating food gave me that little bit of love that I needed. Obviously, you know, short-lived as drugs, as alcohol, whereas exercise and working out is a longer love. So it's a big warm hug. You know, there are days I get up and I really can't be bothered to go to the gym, but as soon as I leave the gym, I feel so much better. It keeps me focused for the rest of the day. I'm more likely to eat healthier that day. If I deliberately skip the gym and I go, I can't be bothered, I know that day I'm going to eat rubbish. It's one of those things. So for me, nutrition and exercise goes hand in hand. It's really important for me and for my well-being and my mind to be able to work out, and then it continues throughout the day.
We now interrupt your flight for a word from our advertisers.
This episode of the Mile Fly Club is brought to you by our good friends at Fleurette Salad. Fleurette is a farmer-owned cooperative, and they're pretty amazing. Farming sustainably and caring for nature and the environment is a passion and priority for them. No wonder they're the UK's leading salad brand. Whether you want to boost your meals with some extra nutrition or shake up your usual dinner go-tos, Fleurette's got your back. They'll help you to reimagine salads one plate at a time, making them unfleurettable. For more information, free recipes and more, visit fleurettesalad.co.uk, and be sure to check out @Fleurette Salad on Instagram and Facebook. Make your year unfleurettable with Fleurette Salad. You've got an amazing husband.
I do.
And amazing kids now.
Wow, well, that's contrary to opinion. We'll see about that, yeah.
What's the most challenging thing about the kids at the moment?
Just Faith. No, bless her. Sorry, Faith. She's 13, going on, 29, and she likes to mother me. She thinks she's the mum. And I'm sure we were all the same with our parents when we were younger. My mum says I was, where, she knows best.
Yeah.
And so the most challenging thing is navigating that with Faith. Is that she's so self-assured, she's very independent, and I love that because I wasn't like that growing up. And she knows what she wants. She's very assertive, and she's gonna do great in life. Like, I'm just so proud of her. But at home, do we want our 13-year-old to be that assertive with us? And the answer is no. So I'm trying to find this balance of accepting her the way that she's grown, which is amazing. Beautiful, confident young lady.
When
and
you
also
say
want
that's,
to mother her.
so when you say, you know, you're proud of her because that's not what you were, where do you think she gets it from then? Because, you know, you're her biggest role model.
Yeah, I do believe that I do believe that what she's seen of me and how I go about attacking things head on, that's probably where she gets them from. So whilst, you know, yes, I was in addiction, and a lot of that she can't quite remember anyway. What she sees now is a mum fighting. And she knows about my hysterectomy and my double mastectomy, and she knows that mummy fought through that. You know, I haven't kept anything off the table. We talk about whatever she wants to talk about. And because I've got that open relationship with her, we've got quite an open relationship, and she talks to me about a lot of things. But then with that, because we've managed to bond in a friendship as well, and they always say don't make friends with your kids, but I actually disagree. I love the fact that we can talk about everything. But then comes the line, the invisible line that they cross, because it's invisible. I have not got that line. I've lost the line, and I love that. But then when it comes to discipline or getting what they want or need, it's harder then because I don't have that line. Yeah. But you know,
I mean,
I've got a great relationship.
So many things you're saying completely like resonate with me. Like, you know, you do want to be their friend. You do want to be able to have open and honest chats. I mean, I do it with Rocco and Talia. Yeah. I'm like, so let's talk about masturbating. Like, I've had those conversations.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought them up with me. I'd like to add first of all.
I haven't had the conversation with Faith yet. But I know that she knows what it is because she watched this thing the other day, and she's watching The Summer I Turned Pretty and all of those things, and it touches on all of that. But she knows she can ask me about anything. AJ knows everything, and I don't know how he knows everything, but he does. Obviously, boys talk.
Maybe
at
his
school.
dad's told him.
I don't think so. I don't think he's had that conversation. But obviously, at school they get taught a lot younger now.
Yeah.
So like AJ knows all about what wet dreams are, and all of that discussion's already been at school. So he thinks it's slightly humorous at the minute. So this morning on the way to school said, Faith, you know what a wet dream is? And she's like, stop. And he's giggling. And he goes, do you know what it is, Mum? And I'm like, do you know what it is, AJ? He said, maybe. And I'm like, how do you know what it is? Like, thinking, what's he been watching? And he said, well, we talked about it at school.
Yeah. Does that bother you that they are learning stuff, you know, perhaps sooner than they need to?
No, I don't think it bothers me. I think maybe if you had asked me 10 years ago, how would I feel about my 11-year-old finding out all of this, it might have been different. But I think now that I'm living their years and what is available to them, we can only try and watch what they're looking online to a certain extent. You know, it's available everywhere. People talk, other boys talk, other friends talk at school. Lots of AJ's friends have older siblings. He's going to get it from other people. I would much prefer my kids to be knowledgeable about all of this rather than be told something that's not true at school.
Sure. By
their friends and their peers, or be caught in a position where they thought they were doing the right thing when actually it would be the wrong thing to do morally.
Yeah. When you say, you know, they see stuff online, I mean, this is something that I think about all the time. How do you feel about what your kids can see online about you?
Yeah, that's a good question. The thing,
because it's there, right?
Yeah,
forever.
It's all there. It is all there forever. And that is why when I went into the Priory, into rehab, we were as honest as we could be with the kids and said that mummy's allergic to alcohol rather than mummy's going away to get better, and make it vague. We were very open about why I was in there, and they understood the process. They understood why I was there to get better, and I'm allergic to alcohol. When I came out, they told all my friends they could only come around for coffee. But because I knew everything was going to be out there, and everything is online if they want to read it or see it. It's just there. They know I had an ex-husband. They know his name was Andy. They call him Poohead. Sorry, Andy. You know, like they know all of this. And I think it's because me and Hugh have a very open relationship with our kids, and we talk about things, and within reason, they join in the conversation. They hear things before they read it online.
And they know it's not true. I mean, that for me is the thing where Rocco and Tyler will say, oh, you know, we went to school today and we had to put in to Google the name of a famous person, and we put your name in, and I'm like, oh no. And then like they're looking at stuff and they see stories that are made up that are not true. And then they come home and they ask me.
Yeah.
And how do you explain to them, well, actually, what's been printed online is actually not true, and because you don't want to speak, and it's just hard.
Yeah, we had that question actually the other day from Faith. It was about something, and we gave her an example of something that the papers had written about us as a family, or me and Hugh, and they knew it was wrong because they had been with us that particular day, and they then understood the narrative of how something. Yeah, there's no smoke without fire, but something could be written and it could be taken out of context and written in a completely different way, when actually there's a form of truth in it, but actually what is written about is completely untruthful. And so they understood the narrative of how that could happen. And that was the best way that we could describe it to them then.
Yeah. Right, I want to go back to when Liberty X was formed.
Wow.
Popstars.
Oh my God, I have no memory of anything. No, I do. I remember that like it was yesterday, Popstars.
So you were runners-up, but you ended up being more successful than the winners, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was just an audition in the newspaper, stage newspaper. Do you want to be a pop star in a pop group? And at that particular moment in time, I had been in quite a few other groups. Nothing quite, made it, obviously. And so I went along the audition, and it was filmed, and we were like, and it was usually not filmed, but sometimes they filmed auditions. So
you went along as an individual?
Individual. Right. And then the further along the competition you got, you realised that something was different. It was bigger. They had more judges. They had more cameras around, and then we realised we were signing these contracts that was going to be on ITV, and people were just there at the audition to be singers, to be in a band. So it wasn't about a fame thing. Obviously, fame comes with that, but it was because I wanted to be a pop star. I wanted to sing and I wanted to perform, and then we made the final 10, and Hearsay were chosen. And we were the other 5. We weren't Liberty X at that time. And for 6 months, we all went back to our normal lives. I went back to work in a nightclub, and we all went back to work. And then it started to come on ITV. And then the longer the episodes were on for, the more famous we were becoming, being on the show, not knowing that we got to final 10. And then we had to quit. We had to quit our jobs. Like around then, it was the first ever reality show. It was huge. It was massive. There wasn't as much TV around or channels. So everybody watched Popstars, and we all had to leave our jobs because we were becoming like a security risk to the bouncers and people who were drinking and things. And then we got together on Lorraine as the 5 losers when the day that it was announced. 5 losers, mate. I know, we had that for so long. The 5 losers, the flop stars. Oh, Hearsay loved calling us the flop stars. And then we sang as a 5-piece. We hadn't sang for like 6 months together. And I think it was Lorraine or This Morning, one of them. And Richard Branson rang up Lorraine Kelly and said that he liked the idea of the underdogs and wanted to sign us to our record label. And that was like a Monday, and I never went back to Newcastle to pack my bags and move to London. Like, doesn't happen like that. Literally within a couple of weeks, I was renting an apartment in South East London by myself. We were all around the same vicinity.
Wow, and 24 years on, you're still performing. So with it's still called Liberty X, but it's just with the girls.
Yeah, just for the girls, just the 3 of us. We still perform. Had a gig at the weekend down in Devon. So we still do the circuits and the road shows. Like, it's not like the good old days. It's never been the same.
But why is that?
It's the pop industry back then in the early noughties was so much fun. We had the best time, you know, and the boys were there in the band and we travelled the world, and every roadshow you went to, all of the same acts were on it. We did radio promotional tours. We were at every radio station for like 6 weeks each single. You went to Australia, you did the same thing. You did the same thing in Germany. And we were constantly working, constantly on the road. So your paths were crossed with so many amazing international stars. It was incredible. CD UK, Top the Pops. And then nowadays, there's just none of that. I mean, I feel quite sad for the artists that are up and coming, because they're never going to experience how good the industry actually was.
Where did you go? Where was your most exciting place to travel to?
One of my fondest memories is in Singapore when we were performing at the MTV Asia Awards, and we gave an awards to Mariah Carey, and we were there, and Liberty X had these poolside rooms, and we invited everybody down for a bit of a pool party after the awards. So in the pool was us, Blue, Gareth Gates, who lost his, well, you know Gareth really well, and well, you know, he lost his passport that night and everything was carnage, and Black Eyed Peas and Pussycat Dolls. We had the Sugar Babes with us. Like, we were all like in this pool having a mass party, and literally just like PG, apart from drink, like it was just a mass party. Like those things that I got to experience, and traveling around Australia with Bon Jovi and Pink, being on Bon Jovi's yacht, and just just too much.
Tell me about that, being on Bon Jovi's yacht.
And we were support act for Bon Jovi, and they invited us on the yacht for an afternoon. And I remember John not having a good day that day, so he decided not to appear up. But we all have bad days. You never know what's going on. But Richie Sambora came, sat with us, played the guitar. At that point, he was with Heather Locklear still, and he was jamming. We weren't playing anything, and he was telling us about the pitfalls of the industry and the highs and the lows, and it was just us with him.
Wow,
just incredible.
Amazing. They are amazing stories. You've obviously been performing with amazing people and travelled a lot with the band.
Yeah, a lot.
Do you get to now go to those far-flung destinations, just as the three of you?
We did Australia. We did a tour in Australia. Maybe about 6 years back, I performed with Atomic Heaton on that tour, because Liz from Atomic Heaton is one of my good friends, and she doesn't fly, and the other girls wanted to do the tour, so I stepped in for Liz. So I was on tour with. I headlined as Atomic Heaton.
How good's that?
And support acted as Liberty X, right? That was pretty cool.
How did the girls feel about that? That you were like moonlighting in Atomic Heaton?
Absolutely no choice. And you know, Atomic Heaton for me was the ultimate girl band, right? So growing up, they were around for about a year and a half before Liberty X came around, maybe 2 years. And I remember thinking, I want to be like them. Like, I already knew what I wanted to do in life. I knew from watching Books Fizz on Making Your Mind Up when I was too young to have memories. I knew then what I wanted to do. But Atomic Heaton with that band, that was new, funky, spunky, you know, full of life and great vocals. And that's what I wanted to do. So then to be in Atomic Heaton and call the girls some of my best friends, it's weird. Like it's probably like weird and strange when I say, like, I literally had a pinch me moment. Felt like I was completely out of my depth and I didn't belong. But I have that, you know, inferiority complex about myself. I've had it my whole life, so I kind of feel like somebody's gonna get at some point. Oh, it was all a joke. You know, you weren't meant to be here. So I carry that around with me constantly. I think a lot of people in the industry have that. A few of my friends have spoke about it. I know Anthony from Blue have that. Imposter syndrome complex, and quite a few people.
Actually, where do you think that comes from?
I think for me, it came from when I was in Liberty X, and I realised that I wasn't getting picked for the lead vocals. And I was singled out from the press as being the drunk one, the one that was dating loads of boys. I mean, I don't care. I had a great time. You know, the party girl, singled out as anything but the performer. And my whole point of being in that career was to perform, sing and dance, and because I was good at it. But then I became labelled in a different manner that I started to believe that's all I was good at. And so my confidence dipped, and, you know, we had a winning formula with Just a Little. Jessica started, Kelly was lead, and Kevin. And so me and Tony didn't really get that lead vocal apart from album tracks. And so with that definitely came a bit of, okay, I know my worth now. And that's kind of never gone away.
What you saying about Just a Little, were you not responsible for making that?
But I was responsible for finding the song, yes.
So tell me about that
Yeah,
then.
I was dating Dane Bowers at the time, and we were supposed to do a writing session together with this producer.
A writing session.
A writing session.
What did that involve?
Well, nothing, because he didn't show up. Therefore, our 2-week relationship didn't last. It was short-lived. But anyway, that's a totally different story. I've lost my train of thought now.
You were responsible
because I'm
for
laughing
Just a
at
Little.
the fact that we dated for like 2 weeks, and it was so unserious. It was ridiculous. Anyway, he didn't show up at this writing session, and but I was there and I stayed, and I couldn't write very well. So the producer was like, "Oh fuck this, sorry, oh bugger, this is a bit of a wasted session." Anyway, we started talking about music and how, you know, our last single, Doing It, didn't do that great, and we're kind of clinging on, you know, we might get dropped, not sure what we're going to do. And he had this song and he played it. He said, "Do you think you guys would be interested?" Press play, and it was dum dum, and it was like, oh my God, it was one of those moments where, you know, you've just heard the next biggest hit for like the next 10 years. Like, you just know. Michelle Escoffrey wrote it and she was vocaling it, and it was meant to go to Anastasia. And what had happened is that her record label had just passed on it from being an album track. From being a single. And they didn't want it as an album track. The producer, Michelle Escoffrey, wanted it to be a single for somebody. So I took it to the record label, and that was Just a Little. That was, yeah,
Wow.
that was the song.
And then how did you feel then when you took the song and you were like, right, well, I'm not getting lead vocals?
The thing is that, you know, when you go into these recording studios, you each record as much as they allow you to record. And so then the producers and the record label then pick who gets chosen on those parts. So it's not like it's the band's responsibility. It's not like it was Jess and Kel saying, I must sing this part, and like other bands I've heard of it. It wasn't like that at all. It was led by the record label and what they thought was going to be the winning formula. And they got the winning formula. You know, it's a bit like S Club. You know, they got their winning formula. I think it was their second single that they dropped when Joe did the lead vocals, you know, and Bradley did the rap.
Yeah.
And that's what they stuck with. That's what they went with.
Yeah.
It's the same with Steps. You know, Claire got the majority of the vocals because they got that winning formula. And it isn't the individuals that's necessarily in control of that. And the record label has the most part in what happens.
You're still together, but the boys aren't in the band.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, I mean, to be honest, I wish they were. I love Jess and Kel, and we all love each other. And it's a lot easier, don't get me wrong. Like,
Without the boys?
Without the boys. So much easier.
Why?
Kev was like the most dramatic. No, he wasn't. He was always late.
Yeah, he was.
He's
Come
always
on.
late. Kevin was always late. He's a nightmare. Like, we would literally knock on him and we all had to go, I don't know, studio care for a flight, and he would literally wake up when we knocked on him. And it was just, it was just tormenting. But I miss their dynamics, absolutely. And, you know, that was Liberty X. It's a different dynamic now, but it is lovely because we're all mums and we all understand that we've got, you know, our family life come first. And if anything comes up and we've got to change a gig, even just one of us, you know, we understand, we cancel, we redo it.
I think that is what is incredible, though. You think you've been together so long and actually you've gone through all of those experiences that you've discussed, like travelling to these amazing destinations, having these most amazing memories, to then travelling through the next part of your life, becoming mums, having a family, you know, getting married, getting divorced, struggling with different, you know, things throughout your life.
Yeah.
So like having that journey together must be so lovely. It's more than just a band, it's a family.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think if I was going to name the two people I trust the most, it would be Jess and Cal outside of my husband. You know, we all know so much of each other. All we do is talk in the car. The girls were a pillar of support when I went into rehab and when I came out. You know, constant contact with Hugh and seeing what they could do as well to make my life better. and easier and a place where I didn't feel tempted or anything like that. So the girls have got my back. We've all got each other's back.
We now interrupt your flight for a word from our advertisers.
Hi, I'm Laura Hamilton. If you've ever dreamt of owning a property abroad, whether it's a holiday home, an investment, a renovation, or even a place to relocate, then my brand new course, My Property Abroad, is for you. Buying property overseas is exciting but also overwhelming, and that's why I've created this course to give you all the tools, tips and confidence you need to make smart decisions when buying abroad. From choosing the right location, understanding local laws, dealing with agents and even making the most of your property as a rental, I've packed everything I've learnt into simple step-by-step lessons. Join the community at mypropertyabroad.com to find out more. Finding a reliable tradesperson shouldn't feel like a full-time job. I've developed over 20 properties and believe me, I've had my fair share of no-shows, missed calls and mystery quotes. That's why I love Worky. It's a brand new app that lets you book trusted tradespeople, electricians, plumbers, decorators, all vetted and reviewed. You can choose when they come, see real-time availability and even filter for preferences like pet-friendly or female-only if that matters to you. Simple, smart, and no more chasing quotes. Download Worky today and book with confidence. I love to hear that, like women supporting women, because in an industry, like particularly when you've been in it as long as you have, women can tear each other down.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen that. And we know bands that women, you know, just all girl bands, usually don't end, you know, that successful after a while because of the way that we can be.
Yeah.
You know, we can be bitchy and we can be bitter, we can be jealous. And you know, I think there was definitely some of that at the beginning of Liberty X. The boys kind of balanced that out. But there isn't that now. You know, we are older and we all know what we bring to the band now. Like I know, even though I feel a little bit inferior in certain situations, like when I go to these big massive balls that we've been at the last couple of years together, like the last time I met you was actually at that Chain of Hope ball and it was just incredible, right? We're in this, you know, National History Museum with these amazing, I can't even say it, philanthropists, and billionaires and you know, world-class surgeons and I'm just sat there, you know, me and you like that, me and Vanessa and you guys and we know just like oh my god, I feel like I'm not meant to be there.
I was sat next to the surgeon that dated Diana.
Yeah, I heard.
It's like,
I know.
And you think, oh my word, you are saving lives, you are doing incredible things. But if you think about it, you know, what you're doing is bringing joy to people's lives. You've been bringing joy to people's lives for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that we are very much supportive of each other. We're women now, you know, we're not young girls anymore. We've all lived through heartache and challenging periods and been there for each other.
You said when you were going through your struggles, the girls sort of stood by, you know, Hugh checking in and stuff. But was there ever a point where they thought, this is it, they're leaving?
Yes. So towards the end of my drinking, they were worried that being on tour with the girls and having, you know, the rider backstage and drinking at the gigs was the cause or one of the main causes of why I had this drinking problem. And they wanted the band to end. They hadn't discussed that with me. They had discussed it with Hugh. But this wasn't told to me at the time. I think even if it had been, it would have been met with anger. I would have freaked out, obviously. So they knew that wouldn't have helped any situation. But they were willing, and they were thinking of stepping back from the band for good to save my life. Wow. So it wasn't them standing back because they didn't want to be with me. It was that I don't know how else to save her. She won't listen. She won't stop. So maybe we have to just walk away. So that makes me really emotional to know that, there you go, got it. I got emotional to know that people would sacrifice their career and what they love to do in order to save my life. That was remarkable. So that's kind of special. But it didn't get to that, thank God. I went and got help before that discussion was brought to me, but that was definitely a discussion that was going to be brought.
Wow, thank you for talking about it. Yeah. It makes me emotional as well. So travel with the band, obviously very different to travel with the family.
Yeah.
Do you sort of look back at those times, that life and think, it's a different life?
Oh, Yes and no. Do you know why? It's because I love to relive what I did. I love to talk about it with the kids and look back at memories and go, Mummy did that. Like, Mummy actually did that. So it's not memories that I've dampened. Like, I really talk about it a lot. But of course, traveling looks very, very different. And back in, the early 2000s when the BTX were traveling around, it was constant. It was literally country to country. Like, I remember being in Budapest and massive 200,000 people crowds. It was for the military, and it was just mental. And then I said, "Good evening, Frankfurt," because I had no idea where I was. That just those things happened a lot because we were traveling so much. The places we got to perform in were insane. Like, we're talking piazzas, in Italy, like almost Colosseum type places, and it was just incredible. And then we got a nightclub gig where there was maybe about 200 people, not really caring what we sang at all, completely drunk, and we were just there to get paid and leave. And so they're all very different things. We saw lots of hotels. I think the only downside to that is that you don't really experience the culture where you're going. You don't really have a lot of time. You're in, you're out.
Yeah.
When we were in Japan, it was only for about 5-6 days, and that was the only time that we went. But yet we had a career there. It's insane.
And Sophie, I was chatting to Sophie Retrospective, and she said they literally went in for a gig 24 hours out.
Yeah, that's what it was like. It was like that wherever you went. It was in and out. We got to check in, got to maybe a couple of hours downtime if we were lucky. Straight downstairs for radio interviews, press interviews, do whatever TV or gig it was that night, and then leave the next day early morning. And that was continuous. Each single was like that. So you drop a single every 6 to 8 weeks. So it was like the same formula every time. And that was life for us. That's what we did throughout our whole career.
Naughtiest travel story?
She's thinking, can I say it and not get myself in trouble?
I can't.
Come on.
Okay.
Duncan told us he got it on with the cabin crew.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I thought he right. Okay. Well, my naughtiest was it? Oh, it was like the Smash It tour, and I had met Andy, my first husband, on the Smash It tour, and he wooed me with his magic tricks. Don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, and so pretty much at the start of the Smash It tour, we started, getting it on. And I was also getting it on with Duncan at the same time.
What?
Yeah. Each knew. And me and Duncan had this on-off relationship for quite some time. So we were friends with benefits.
Right.
Me and Duncan for a while. And so the naughtiest thing on Smash It would have been enjoying one night and enjoying another night.
Threesome?
No! God, no! No! I just mean...
He nearly told us he had a threesome. Maybe it was referring.
Did he? No, he did not.
He implied he might have had a threesome.
There was definitely no. Threesome was never going to happen. But I'm going to leave that. No. I can't implicate anybody else. But there was definitely no threesome.
Travel...
on my end anyway. We all know he's attracted to the opposite sex now. So maybe in his head there was a threesome coming on, but definitely not mine.
Travel hacks and tips. Traveling.
I'm getting on flustered now.
Traveling with the family.
You never know what Duncan said. Travel with the family hacks. Okay, so actually, I would like some hacks from you. So we're going away in a couple of weeks' time, and we're trying to save money on a budget because we spent so much in the last couple of holidays, and we are going to Lanzarote for 8 days, and we only have 2 suitcases.
Perfect.
Instead of 4.
Yeah.
And
I'd travel hand luggage.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, if I said that to Faith, she'd have a heart attack. So she's the worst. She likes to pack all of her makeup and all of her toiletries, like 5 different Sol de Janeiros, so that when she gets to a destination, she sets it up like she has at home.
Right.
Right.
Well,
she will have a heart attack.
Yeah, you got to change that. You just got to
Hand
just get
luggage.
the travel mini packs. She can have her soldier in it, but just the little
Yeah.
mini ones. So just do that. But yeah, hand luggage all day long. Even my children. No one wants to spend time in an airport. Like literally, you want to be in. You don't want to have to queue up to check in. You want to be able to check in at home, get your boarding pass. You want to go straight to the airport, straight through security.
Yeah.
And then out the other side, not have to wait for hand baggage. Now, one of my biggest tips that I would say, and I'm not being sponsored by EasyJet, by the way, when I'm telling you this, is to get the EasyJet Plus card. Because EasyJet Plus card, it's like one of the best things that I've ever bought when I've travelled. It's like £299.
Right.
But once you've got it, you don't have to pay for speedy boarding, you don't have to pay to select your seat, and you don't have to pay for your cabin bag.
Okay.
So if you think about, like, if you just want to go on like weekend breaks with your mum or, you know, Hugh, or even as a family, even if you and Hugh had the EasyJet Plus card each, and you get a discount if the second person joins.
Oh, and you are so
I'm not an ambassador for EasyJet. I should be.
If EasyJet would like me to be an ambassador, I will very much recommend you just as the beautiful Laura.
But I would definitely get an EasyJet Plus card.
I will look into that because we are actually playing EasyJet, and no plug because I had to pay for it. But so we're struggling with the luggage and also seat selection.
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting to find out whether we're going to be sat together or not. So that should be fun.
Because, like, literally, you book your ticket, and then once you start adding on all the extras, you've paid for your ticket twice again.
Yeah, absolutely.
The EasyJet Plus card pays for itself in literally like 2 trips.
I will look into it.
So
I can't use it now, unfortunately. So maybe Faith can be sat by herself because she's classed as an adult.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Travel's good for kids, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, it's good, you know. I mean, Rocco and Tyler have travelled with me since they were 3 weeks old.
Yeah, I know. I remember us doing that campaign with our children. Was it bikes or scooters in Hyde? Was that Hyde Park?
Yes.
How old were they? It was all of us, wasn't it? Tiny.
Yeah.
And we were discussing, you know, how you were going to balance the kids and traveling, and you were going to take them away with you.
Yeah.
And do all of that. And absolutely, if given any opportunity, I can take the kids away within reason. I will.
Yeah.
And if that means a day or two missed at school, then so be it.
Yeah.
I don't plan on taking Faith away when she does the GCSEs and AJ's got his SATs next week. Like we look at dates as best we can.
Yeah.
But if a day or two lapse over, because they're getting their experience.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. But I don't feel, you know, guilty if I turn around to the school and I say, do you know what, I'm actually taking him away for a couple of days because of a job that's come up, or, you know, we're going to go and do this, because travel is so educational for kids.
Yeah, I completely agree, 100%. And also, you know, I don't have help at home. My mum lives in Newcastle. If something comes in, my husband works full time. He's away a lot with work, and we don't have the help. I need to take the kids with me. It's not as easy as, oh, can they not go to someone else? Like, I've had that question before from one of the schools, and it's like, well, no, I want them with me. So I have no problem with that whatsoever, within reason, obviously.
Do you know what? There's so much I could keep talking to you about. Like, it's been so interesting. But before we wrap up, I've got 3 quick fire questions to ask you. It's not going to be who have you had a threesome with?
Because I never. I mean, Duncan might have by himself, but it wasn't with me.
Favourite place to travel to and why?
Australia. It's so vast. You couldn't possibly see it all. Beautiful people, beautiful place. It's like a home away from home. It's just a shame so far.
Yeah. Have you been with the kids?
I haven't. No, I've been quite a few times myself, but not with the kids.
Best person to travel with and why?
Ooh. I'm going to say Faith. You know, I know I've riled her quite a bit.
How's Hugh going to feel about that?
I know. I mean, obviously my husband, but I think with Faith, she's at that age where we enjoy the same things. She's becoming more cultured. She wants to see Europe. And I think like me and her could do some really nice girly trips away.
Well, you just got to tell her to pack
pack light and rein in on spending.
So I've got to ask you the one final question. The Mile High Club. Are you a member?
I'm going to have a think about this. I'm not a member in the conventional sense.
So
I think I might have dabbled, but I didn't. But I haven't. There you go.
How
I'm not going to know. My kids are going to see this. And it was
I've dabbled as well.
And it was a long time ago. And it was probably with a past relationship. So, yeah.
Right. Well, thank
There
you.
you go.
You might not be a fully fledged member of the Mile
I'm not.
High Club, but we both dabbled.
I mean, look, my memory does play tricks on me, but I'm pretty sure I would remember that.
Well, you're a member of the Mile Fly Club, so thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank
It's been
you.
amazing to chat to you.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mile Fly Club. Thanks so much for travelling with me on this episode. For more content like this, please click the subscribe button. And for the full podcast interview, check out the Mile Fly Club on all major audio streaming platforms.